Changing how the states look and behave is pretty standard WPF. As an example, I will show you how to change the look of the all-set listening state, the one with the microphone. If you want to learn more about visual states in WPF, I suggest you queue up a WPF or Blend course. XAML is a very powerful tool, but it is beyond the scope of this course to teach you all its intricacies. Let's get started. By clicking on the all-set listening state, we switch to editing that state. The red border and this warning text at the top indicate that any change I do right now affects the animation that defines the look of the state. This is not what I want. I want to change the default look of this control, so the only animations that happen when the state is activated is the changing of the visibility and opacity. To turn off stage recording, I have to click this red recording rectangle. I'm not going to do anything fancy here, just change the color of the background to be a predefined light gray and change the color of the microphone to be black. Don't forget to save, and that's pretty much it. To actually use this new design, I have added a basic Kinect WPF project to this solution, just like I did at the beginning of this course. This time, however, instead of referencing the Microsoft.Kinect.Toolkit DLL as a compiled binary, I'm going to reference it as a project from the same solution. To keep things simple, I will only add the KinectSensorChooserUI to the main page.xaml and set its isListening property to true. In the code behind, I just add these two lines. The first line creates a new KinectSensorChooser object and assigns it to the KinectSensorChooserUI. The second line starts this logic. We will also need a using directive at the top. A bit of warning. As you can see, this is in no way production quality code, but it is okay for the demonstration. Now, if I launch this application, you can see that the microphone icon has actually changed color, just like we set it in Blend. If I disconnect the Kinect at this point, you can see that the icon changes. You could change the look and feel of this state, just like we did with the microphone. As we saw earlier, when I move my mouse over the control now, it gets larger and offers a different icon and an explanation text. What's more, moving my mouse over the text displays an even longer tooltip that explains that the application needs the Kinect sensor and I should plug one in. How can I change this mouse over state or translate the text to another language? These expanded visuals are defined in the expanded pop-up control. If I click on it on bend, it gets opened and I can see what the pop-ups for the different states look like. Here I can edit the expanded state just like before. Let's click on the No Available Sensors state. For example, I can make the Kinect sensor and the question mark stand on their heads to indicate that there is a big problem. But where do all the text come from? It turns out they are bound to different properties of the KinectSensorChooserUI View Model class. The message that gets shown in the middle of the pop-up is bound to the message property. On the tooltip of the Help button is actually bound to the More Information property. Clicking on the Help button will take us to the URL defined in the More Information URL property. So let's open the ViewModel class in Visual Studio. As it turns out, this class has a method called UpdateState, which takes care of setting this and a lot of other data according to the status of the Kinect sensor. You can see that the message and more info values are taken from resources, but the URIs are hand-coded and point to Microsoft sites. Now it is clear how to translate these texts. Open the resources.resx file and find the proper key. In this case, the More Information, No Available Sensors. Let's change this text quickly. If we launch the application now, the Kinect warning icon has been rotated and the tooltip of the help text just became rather unfriendly.